I'm live. I hope you all can hear me well. Raise short. Oh, see a police car passing by. Not really a fan of them, but all right. They're here as long as they do what they have to do, but without being hindered to me, I'm fine. All right, so I'm not really fond of Apollonian institutions centered around Greek gods, but you know that about me already. So, Elephant Room Studios is here. I see two thumbs up. Thank you very much. As you all know, at the 4-minute mark I'll begin, but today I'll do it at the 3-minute mark. So I'm not going to wait that long today. There's only 1 minute passed by. Within 2 minutes I'll begin the teaching. At the 3-minute mark I'll begin teaching. All right. So today's an exception. I start at 3 minutes. Hey, Eddie Johnson, thank you for being here. I'm waiting for your email. So, by the way, for those that don't know, I'm outside now, as you can see behind me. It's during the day in the Netherlands. There's a big mall behind me over there with the supermarket you can see. So yes, I'm outside. So if there are trolls over here, why are you here? I'm not some loner sitting at home making videos in my mother's basement. I'm not even living with my parents. I've just turned 30, was it this week? Yeah, this week, past days. And, well, I'm an entrepreneur, author, scholar, a teacher on YouTube, and I'm just walking around, making videos, sometimes at home also. And I'm a freelancer, and I'm also an entrepreneur, so now that's out. Okay, so let me see. At the 3-minute mark I would begin. Normally I do the 4-minute mark, today I did the 3-minute mark. When I'm on the StreamYard, it's 5 minutes because of the intro. When I'm just doing a live like this, it's 4 minutes, but today it will be 3 minutes. Okay, so, all right. I'll wait for the 3-minute mark to arrive and I'll begin. All right. What the heck is going on around here? So many police officers walking around. How well, let the world remain with their weird institutions. I trust them for my safety. Okay. And by the way, I didn't make live streams for almost a week before yesterday, or actually before today, because I want to give you the time to replay stuff and reflect. I'm not going to overwhelm you with data. That's not the wise thing to do. Yes, it's a 3-minute mark, so I'm beginning right now. Eddie Johnson is here, so if any of you are trolling or seek to spread filth during the live chat, man, you know Eddie Johnson breaks you off immediately. So, okay, what is this live stream about, this class? Okay, I'm going to imagine the following parable with me. Just imagine it with me, okay? You are in your house. I speak from a male perspective, okay, but you and your wife are at home, you're sleeping, your children are in bed, and suddenly you hear the smoke detector. You hear the smoke detector go off, and your smoke detector is quite loud, and that sound is quite annoying. So your wife wakes up and tells you, honey, please, can you turn off the smoke detector? Please turn it off. And you think, oh, darling, let me sleep for a moment, woman, let me sleep. The smoke detector is going off. So your wife keeps on complaining about it, like, okay, I'll go down. By the time you go down, you see the flames are all over the kitchen. And it took you 10 minutes to stand up from your lazy behind to go downstairs and look what's going on. If you would have went down immediately when this smoke detector went off, you would have prevented the kitchen from catching fire. Now, and here's the thing, if you would have waited 5 minutes longer, there would have been a gas explosion in your house. All of you would have died. And the neighbors would have harmed too. So, your lazy behind, when you got the warning signal, almost got you, your wife, and your children killed. Now, this is just a parable. You get me? It's not a real life situation. Well, such things happen in real life, and I hope that you are a guy that takes responsibility and wakes up when your smoke detector goes off. Okay? But what is this really about? It's not about smoke detectors in this live stream. Absolutely not. What this is about being alert. And that is something I've noticed, unfortunately, that many people are not. They are not alert. With a smoke detector, you have to respond on time to prevent harm. A few seconds too late, and it's too late. Now, let's go to the spirit world, because that's what I'm aiming towards. When you notice psychic symptoms, that something bad is growing or brewing against you, or when you notice that there's a negative climate building up in the community, you respond immediately with countermeasures in the spirit world. Immediately. You're not going to sit and think, oh, well, there are tensions everywhere, who cares? You're not going to brush it off. You're not going to ignore it. You're not going to water it down and say it's not such a big deal. You're not going to do any of those things. You are going to take proper actions to preserve safety around you. Now, that's obvious. That's what you should be doing. But we do realize that there are people who don't operate that way. Well, actually, a lot of people don't. A lot of folks, when things go wrong, instead of noticing the symptoms of something's going wrong, they just want to be left alone. They just don't want to be bothered. Okay, maybe you notice that your little child is having behavior problems out of the blue. Now, any child psychologist will tell you if your little child has behavior problems out of the blue, it's either there's sexual abuse going on or something else that traumatized the child. So you should pay attention. But in reality, you have parents who they either punish the child with abusive parenting styles or just ignore it instead of looking at what's going on here. Now, that type of behavior is very, very dangerous. Extremely dangerous. But on a spiritual level, that's how, unfortunately, many believers operate also. They do not, and I repeat, they do not consider the situation they're in. They are not. They are not pay attention to the symptoms they're feeling. No, they don't. The only thing they do is, well, how should I say it? The main thing they do is to get upset when people point out the symptoms to them. And I'm telling you one thing. If you are not firm in prayer, if you are not firm in decrees and declarations, if you're not firm in fasting, if you're not firm in listening to your intuition, if you're not firm in standing on God's promises, if you are not firm in any area at all, I can guarantee you that very soon you'll be gone. You, your family, those around you, you will be gone. As simple as that. Why will you be gone? Well, it's very simple. Hold on. One moment. Yes, I need to get my charger. So, one moment. So do you understand it now? If you do not pay proper attention to the symptoms around you, you're finished. Absolutely finished. Now, before I continue, hold on. Let me put out my coat because I'm at home. I just want to walk around to record this video outside, but then I got a notification that my battery was almost finished, so that's why I came home to continue this. Now, before I continue, how many of you experienced a very bad situation in your life? An awfully bad situation. And then afterwards, when you reflect back, you realize, this situation could have been prevented. I could have paid better attention to the situation. How many of you have gone through awful or bad circumstances? of which later you thought, man, I could have easily avoided this. How many of you? Let me know in the live chat. And by the way, Steve E has a new channel. Please go and support him, please. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, when you reflect on such situations where you realize afterwards, man, I could have avoided this. Okay, let me give an example. It can be that you were arrested. Okay? Why? Because you were walking outside and there was this guy looking angry at you, looking very weird at you. I asked him, dude, what's going on? Why are you looking at me like that? And the guy suddenly escalated against you. And the guy tried to knock you out, so you knocked him out instead. It became a whole fist fight. And before you know it, people around called the cops and both of you were arrested. Now, eventually the police tells you it was self-defense. They shouldn't have attacked you and you're off. But still, people saw you being arrested. And that has ruined your reputation, because now you're associated with crime, even though you're not a criminal. And now you don't have a criminal record, but still you have been notified with the police. Now, if you had a job, likely your employer doesn't be associated with that, so they might decide to fire you, get rid of you, or even if they don't find out, this is something that can pop up later. So then you realize, you know what? That guy was looking weird at me. You know what? I should have ignored it. I should have just smiled or pretend like I don't know what's going on, and I would have avoided this whole escalation. That guy was out of his mind and just wanted to escalate his anger. I should have recognized that and not fall for the trick. Or maybe you are a woman in a women's shelter and just escaped your narcissistic ex-husband or your narcissistic ex-boyfriend who was beating you and abusing you. And now, after you've escaped from the situation and you're getting help, you realize, I wouldn't be in this situation in a women's shelter, almost homeless, if I would have paid attention to red flags. So too often it's after the fact that people begin to realize, they should have been different. And here's the worst part. Some people don't even get the chance to reflect back because they die. Some people end up in bad situations that are fatal. They die. So they don't even have the chance to reflect and realize, that could have been better. So if you survived an awful or extremely bad situation and you got the chance to reflect, be happy that you have that chance, because many don't. Now, go back to the parable I gave about the smoke detector. The smoke detector has a very loud, annoying noise that it makes when it goes off. It's designed that way to shock you to come and look. Because if a smoke detector would go off, you would hear such a sweet, soft melody. That sweet, soft melody would cause you to relax and go to sleep. That's why a smoke detector has this annoying, loud sound, just to annoy you so you can come up and do something about the situation. Now, on a spiritual level, when we encounter uncomfortable circumstances, we often get so upset we just want to get out of there. Or when we encounter people that are a bit disturbed, we think, oh no, why they can't this disturbing individual? You want to just go and leave you alone. I'm telling you, beware with this attitude. This attitude will get you killed. Let me tell you why. Okay? I'm just giving one example. Let's say you're at work. Okay? You're just at work. You work in an office. And there's this colleague of yours, let's say you're a man, and I'm using male examples often because I'm a male myself. Let's say you're a man, okay? You have this male colleague, and he keeps talking about, I don't know, he talks about computers, he talks about porn, he talks about all kinds of stuff that you think, why are you talking about this stuff, man? Why are you doing that? So you just want him to shut up and leave you alone so you can do your work. But a few months later, you hear that some of your colleagues filed a lawsuit against you. And then you hear that one of the female co-workers claimed you sexually assaulted her. And there were other colleagues that were supporting the claim. But it is one guy who was so-called talking too much that revealed camera footage that he made with his own camera that got you out of prison. Because if that guy that talks too much would have been around you, he wouldn't have noticed the anger that would build up against you. This guy noticed things building up against you, just didn't tell you. Instead, he was distracting people with his loose talk. And by distracting people with loose talk, he was able to keep an eye on them and keep evidence just in case they would ever come against you. So this guy that you thought was so annoying, he talked so much, he was actually sent by God. He's not aware of it himself, but God sent him on your behalf. Because if this guy was not around, those snakes at work would have filed a lawsuit of sexual harassment against you. They would have gave false testimonies, and you would be in prison. Now, in this example, you were not aware that people were snitching and snaking on you. But because you had this guy around you that you considered annoying, you now were alert. So this guy hanging around you at work was a symptom that something bad was going on. Now, this guy was not the bad news. The bad news was there were people at the work escalating against you behind the scenes. So this guy, this coworker that was talking too much, was there as an annoyance to alert you to wake up and to pay attention. And it's after you hear that this lawsuit failed and that a lot of those coworkers left, they were not fired, but they left, it's then that you can think back and realize, now that I think about it, every morning when I came to work, I would say hi to everyone. But there were times I said hi and people just ran away from me. I realized this was weeks before this fake lawsuit was pushed. The lawsuit failed because one of the colleagues showed proof to the police officer that that's not the case, and the people that made the false sexual assault allegations, they were even in danger of being sued themselves by the police. So they stopped it all. And because they were too humiliated to face you, they left the workplace. Now, how many of us encounter quote-unquote annoying people? They're only annoying because we just don't want to deal with them. They're only annoying because they go against what we want. Annoying is subjective. If something is subjectively harmful, then the annoyance is objective. But most of the time, annoyance is subjective. Too often, we consider people annoying because they don't match what we want. But we don't even consider if what we want is correct or not. Now, how many of us encounter quote-unquote annoying people and we just get fed up with them? We can't avoid them. Start paying attention, this individual, I consider them annoying. I consider them burdensome. How come there's so comfortable around me? What if you have this mark of victimization, this energetic wound that attracts predators? And now instead of predators coming fully towards you, you have those creepy people who want attention coming around you often. If you have that happen to you, you must know that something is off. Because why are those people only coming to me and not to those other people? So you should pay attention, what's going on here, and do your spiritual investigation to figure out what's going on. But too often, when people face annoyance in daily life, they just want to get away from it, or they just escalate against it. Stop doing that. It's ridiculous. You should consider every annoyance in daily life as a warning signal. Just like a smoke detector gives a warning signal, you also must consider every annoyance in life as a warning signal. Either you have expectations that you need to give up, either you are impatient, or either you are self-obsessed. Because that you get annoyed quickly, so then you know that there's a warning for you to be reformed on the inside, or it can be the external something is going on that requires your attention. Then you do that. A lot of folks don't want to see it this way. They just want to have things at ease all the time without ever being challenged. And that is extremely unhealthy. There were times I was the annoying one around other people. And later people changed their attitude towards me after they realized, that annoyance had nothing to do with a sheep, it had to do with me. And realized that they had benefits having me around. Sometimes I had other annoying people that were quote-unquote annoying around me. And I was thinking, come on, man. But then I realized, God is using this individual. Look, warning signals are very important to pay attention to. When you notice symptoms in daily life, that something's going on, you pay attention to it. And here's the thing. One thing also need to realize, if you notice around you that a lot of people are fed up with someone, let's say you have this guy that nobody likes. Everyone is upset with the guy. First of all, is this guy the mayor? Is he the local politician? Is he a child molester or a criminal or some criminal that harms the community? No. If it's none of those extreme things, why are they upset with the guy? Because the public just wants an outlet for their issues. So you notice in the neighborhood, oh, nobody likes someone, pay attention. Because if that guy that they don't like, or that woman that they don't like is out of the picture and can't dump on that individual, that means they may turn on anyone else to dump. What happens often when we hear that people don't like someone, just not to get into conflict with the crowd that's dumping, we excuse the negative behavior of the crowd and we join the crowd so that we don't become the target of their anxieties. We need to stop doing that. I'm not saying you have to fully confront people for their dumping, because that may escalate. So I'm not telling you to do that. But look, if you see people dumping on someone else, escalating against someone else, that means that if that other individual is not around, they're going to dump on another individual. And that means that if you get close to them, then it's easier for them to dump on you because you're close to them. You get me? So think about it. If you have a teacher that is quite upset with some student, and you can see that this teacher is just escalating, just remember, you getting close to this teacher puts you in danger. Because if that teacher even thinks that she is entitled to just dump on a student like that, what do you think she's going to do to you if you're close to her? And this is a very weird thing I've seen in the world. When people are dumping openly, that means they're psychopathic. That means they're willing to just cause harm openly. If someone dumps openly and claim that they're just being honest, they are psychopathic. They may not be a psychopath, but they're psychopathic in their attitude. They're willing to escalate just to release whatever anxiety or tension they have. So when someone is dumping openly, sometimes we develop an attachment to such people and we say, well, at least they're honest, or at least with him, you know where you stand. No. When someone is dumping openly, they're psychopathic and they should be treated as such. Absolutely. This whole thing that we just see things happening and think, well, okay, it's not my problem. It didn't happen to me. It didn't happen to you yet. It might happen to you also, or those around you. Okay? Me, if I see you murmuring behind someone's back, I'm going to watch out with you. Because that shows me that you are an individual who doesn't want to face things in life. You just want an outlet to escalate. So that means that if one day you don't have your victim is not available and I'm around, you may consider victimizing me. That means that if one day you don't get what you want, or if one day you can't benefit from me, you may do the same thing. What people in the world do? When you're open and direct in someone's face that you can't stand or you don't like, then people praise you. Why are you praising someone that attacks openly? Whether you attack someone openly or behind their back, it's still an attack, it's still wrong. But worldly people, they're messed up in their head. They will praise you if you're violent openly. So are they going to praise the child molester openly too because he rapes a child openly? No. Are they going to praise the murderer openly because he does the crime openly? No. So why is it when someone is verbally attacking you or escalating against you or emotionally abusing you openly, people say at least he's telling you it to your face? What the heck is that? Me? When someone dares to openly ignore you and openly treat you poorly, it means that they're willing to even kill you. They're psychopathic. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They're psychopathic. If you had parents who didn't even care about your feelings, just said what they wanted to say in your face, and you were just a child, imagine what they're going to do to you when you're an adult. When you were a child, they should be extra careful or extra watchful how to speak to you, because they could harm you with their words. But if you had parents who just dumped whatever they wanted out of their mouth, and you were just growing up, imagine what they're willing to do to you now that you're an adult. Beware with them. And look at this, if someone dumped in your face and nobody around stood up for you or told them to calm down, they also know that those are type of people who would allow bad things to happen to you. They would even allow you to be killed. What if that individual did not dump into your face, but they picked up a knife and escalated on you? Then people would have known that, oh, this individual was targeting you for a while, but no, we saw it happening, we heard them murmuring about you, but we didn't do anything about it. Oh crap, he died, he was such a good guy. That's how it goes in the world. They don't make any step to prevent harm from happening to you, but those same people want to play the hero when something bad happens to you. So they allow bad things to happen to you, and when bad things happen, now they want to build themselves out from the blame of being neglectful, and now they want to pretend like they're the heroes. Worldlings do this crap a lot. So, that is why I am telling you, always pay attention to the symptoms. If you are sitting behind your computer, okay? If you're behind your computer, for example, there's my computer right over there, as you can see. The other screen is down there. If you're behind your computer and you suddenly feel like someone is stabbing you in your energy field, not in your body, your energy field, then you know, ooh, there's either voodoo going on against me, or maybe there are hexes being put, or there's some type of escalation going on against me. What you're going to do? You're going to prayer, decree, and declaration. You're going to take spiritual action immediately. You're not going to wait till you feel sickness in your body, or you're not going to wait till you hear someone fought a lawsuit against you. You're not going to wait till you notice people following you. You're not going to wait till situations are actually in your face for you to realize something is wrong. The moment you get symptoms, energetically, you take action. You're on that. You're on that ass, man. That's as I say in Afro-American English. You're on that ass the moment you get the symptoms. As simple as that. The only time that Satan could have creeped in and just escalate like that with me was 2013, which ended up in this tribulation with me at the beginning of 2014. But that was the first and the last time the enemy could have done that. Since then, I became more fierce and more powerful in the faith, so I'm ahead of everything now. Me, if I'm walking outside and I see this car near playgrounds often where children are playing, and I see that car multiple days there all the time, I'm going to think, why is this car only there when children are playing around, and later at night when children are not there, the car is gone? I'm going to start documenting it and make notes. I'm not going to wait till I hear that the child is missing, then say, you know what, I saw this car around often. No, the moment I get a symptom, I take action. If most people had this attitude, much of the harm and violence on the earth would have stopped immediately. It is because the crowd just wants relief and to be left alone that they enable all these bad things to happen. Meek, I don't know what you talk about. How do we learn not to be sociopathic? I was not addressing believers here, so when I talk about being psychopathic, I was talking about worldlings escalating. You have to learn to face yourself in the mirror and find for long-term solutions, and just looking for relief and then instead of just escalating, wanting to be left alone. Being left alone itself is a narcissistic attitude. You're on the earth, you are a living creature on the earth, so you must be in harmony with other living, with your fellow human beings, and you must face things together with human species on the earth as simple as possible. This whole thing of my life, I want to be left alone, I, is narcissistic bullshit. That's all it is. And the world enables this because that's how the world keeps a grip upon you. All right. This live stream is 30 minutes. I don't have much more to say in this live stream. So it's a very short one. Okay. Are there any questions in harmony to this topic? Look, if you warn other people and they don't want to take it, or they tell you to mind your own business or leave it alone, then they are enablers. Now you know that you can't trust them. That's why you don't always have to warn people openly. Give hints that something is wrong. If they refuse to even listen to the hints, now you know they're not people that are reliable. As simple as that. As simple as that. All right. Are there any questions in harmony to this topic? If there are no questions, I will close down the live chat within a minute. And by the way, if you still have questions and I'm not here, you can email me, or you can join the Google Photos album. You can ask your question over there, and you guys and ladies can follow one another on the Google Photos album too. Okay? So join the Google Photos album. You can follow one another over there and share pictures or whatever. And okay, I still didn't get any questions. So okay, I'm going to close down this live stream. Thank you all for being here. Again, keep agreeing with Christ and don't wait too long before taking action. The moment you know the symptoms, take action immediately. All right? Was it for now? Keep on agreeing with Christ. Be at peace, and I'll see you next time.